Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you what you can do with all that leftover cranberry sauce that I know you still have from Thanksgiving. I know I do. Today's recipe is going to be a delicious oat bar that you can have with tea or with coffee or just on their own, like a grab and go snack. They are so good, I promise you. Please don't forget to subscribe down below. Now let's get cooking. So these are the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need cranberry sauce, of course. You're going to need brown sugar, rolled oats, butter, flour, and cinnamon powder. And if you'd like, you can also add some vanilla extract. So I started off by putting flour into a bowl. I'll have all the measurements down below and a link to the website where I got this recipe from. Then I put in the rolled oats, and make sure it's rolled oats and not quick oats. You don't want them to be like the instant oats. You want like the actual oat. Then you're going to tightly pack in the brown sugar. So as I'm doing here, I'm putting it in my measuring cup and I'm packing it in there really tightly. And then we're going to scoop it into the bowl. Now this recipe can also be made with like jams or jellies. I think raspberry jelly would go really well with this, or blueberry, or like a blackberry. I don't know, something like that would also work really well in this recipe if you don't have cranberry sauce or don't want to use cranberry sauce. Then I sprinkled in some cinnamon. Honestly, I eyeballed this because I like cinnamon, so I kind of went a little heavier, I think, than the recipe called for, but you do you. And then I'm just going to toss everything around. Okay, so I don't have a food processor, so I thought I could just throw this into my Vitamix and blend it up. This was a mistake. Don't do this. But hey, we learn from our mistakes, right? So I ended up putting it into my Vitamix and then I pulsed it, and what it did was make it really fine, which, I mean, it still ended up working out, but it wasn't the right consistency that I personally really like. So here I'm putting in the butter, and what's supposed to happen if you have a food processor, it kind of crumbles everything up and makes the butter kind of in pea sizes, and it makes it kind of like flaky when you actually finish cooking it. It's basically turning the oats into oat flour, and it wouldn't actually get the butter to start churning, even though I used cold and I was pulsing, and it just did not work out. So I don't know, maybe I also did it wrong. Maybe there's a better way to do this with a Vitamix. If you know, please let me know because I would love to learn. But yeah, it did not work for me. So what I ended up doing was putting it into a bowl again and just crushing the butter with my hands, the old-fashioned way. And honestly, it turned out fine. If I didn't mix it in the Vitamix to such a finely milled powder with the oats, it would have turned out a lot better, I think. But it was still really good in the end. Then what you're going to do is kind of take some out and you're going to separate it. And I did find that this recipe was kind of a lot for the pan that I used, so I didn't end up using the entire thing. But if you have a bigger pan, then this will be perfect for you. Mine was just a little too small. So what you're going to do is you're going to pack this in tightly. You're going to sprinkle some in, really press down with your palm, sprinkle in some more, make sure it's as even as you can. And you're going to go up the walls a little bit too. You're going to go about an inch or so up the walls. Just make sure you firmly press everything down like so. Next, you're going to scoop in your cranberry sauce. So good. This is my homemade cranberry sauce. If you haven't seen my video on how to make this, check it out. I'll link it down below. It's honestly so easy. So if you've never tried it and you've always wanted to, it's not scary. Trust me, I thought it was. Go ahead and check that out. Then I'm going to sprinkle the rest of the stuff on top. See how it's like really powdery? It should be kind of bigger, chunkier pieces, but it was still really good. And again, I didn't use the entire thing. I found it too much, but the recipe will be down below. Then you're going to preheat the oven to 325, and you're going to pop it in there for about 50 minutes. I know it takes a little bit to cook, but it's so worth it. It's so good. Once that time is up, you're going to take it out of the oven, and it's going to be really pretty and like toasty on top and gooey on the inside. Now, I dug into this pretty much right away, and so it did kind of crumble a lot when I dug into it because it was still warm. But if you wait for it to fully cool down, it really is like an oat bar. It doesn't crumble as bad. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one.